In a world that's always reaching outward toward more, bigger, faster, louder, there's a quiet power in the art of staying close to what grounds you, staying close to your purpose, staying close to the practices, people, and presence that nourish your soul. The Tao reminds us in chapter 80 that we don't need distant victories to feel complete. We don't need more tools to build what we already have, the raw materials for inside. The more we chase what's far away, the more we overlook the treasures that live right here, right now, right within reach. Chapter 80 of the Tao Te Ching. A small state has few people. It has the people keep arms but not use them. It has them regard death gravely and not go on distant campaigns. Even if they have vehicles, they have nowhere to drive them. Even if they have weapons, they have nowhere to use them. It has the people go back to simple techniques, relish their food, like their clothes, be comfortable in their ways, and enjoy their work. Neighboring states may be so close they can hear each other's dogs and roosters, but they make it so that the people have never gone back and forth. This verse of the Tao Te Ching paints a picture of a small, simple village. People are content, peaceful, and at ease. They know how to use weapons, but don't need to. They own carts and boats, but rarely travel far. They find joy in their food, comfort in their clothes, and meaning in their daily tasks. They can hear the roosters and dogs in the neighboring village, but they never feel the need to go there. Why? Because their lives are full, their hearts are home, their spirit is not scattered outward, it's rooted inward. Now, in our modern lives, we often find ourselves pulled away from this center. Notifications, obligations, expectations. We chase success at the cost of stability. We pursue recognition while neglecting relationships. We fill our calendars but empty our spirits. The Tao calls us back to what truly matters, to live a life so whole that you don't need to escape it, to cultivate such richness in your inner world that you no longer crave the outer world's applause, to become so rooted in presence that home isn't just a place, it's a state of being. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Daniel who once led a wildly successful company in New York. He had it all on paper, income, influence, and accolades, but he was restless. He traveled constantly, flew first class, lived in hotel rooms more than his home. He would post from Dubai, London, Tokyo, but he couldn't remember the last time he watched the sunrise from his own backyard. One year on his birthday, his daughter gave him a handmade card. It said, "Happy birthday, Dad. Maybe one day you'll spend it with me." That moment pierced his armor. He hadn't realized how far he had drifted from what truly mattered. He had built a kingdom of success, but it was thousands of miles away from his heart. That year, Daniel made a shift. He didn't quit his business. He didn't renounce success, but he redefined it. He stopped flying so much and started walking his daughter to school. He stopped speaking at events every weekend and started coaching her soccer team. He began practicing Tai Chi every morning on the porch with his wife, just the two of them and the rising sun. He built a new kind of wealth, the wealth of presence, of stillness, of roots. That's what chapter 80 teaches us. That simplicity isn't lack, it's clarity. That local isn't small, it's sacred. That we don't need to conquer the world if we can fully show up for the corner we already live in. When we yield, when we stop trying to get there and realize we are already here, something shifts, the mind settles, the body softens, and the spirit returns. In the yielding warrior method, we say that peace doesn't come from isolation, it comes from integration. It's not about running away from the world, it's about learning how to carry stillness into it. So your dinner table becomes a temple, your breath becomes your anchor, your home becomes your dojo. You don't need to go far to find meaning. You need to go deep, deep into your own life, into the sacred simplicity of doing what matters most, with the people who matter most, with presence and gratitude in every step. Next, we'll explore rituals, resets, and rhythms that help you root your power at home. But for now, I want to leave you with a simple action step. Here's your practice. Tonight before bed, take 5 minutes to reflect on your day. Ask yourself, where was I fully present today? Not productive, not successful, present, and then ask, where was I reaching too far? Where was I chasing instead of cherishing? Notice the difference. Then decide, what's one small way I can stay closer tomorrow, closer to home, closer to heart, closer to center, because the most powerful life you can live might just be the one you're already in, if you choose to return to it, if you choose to live it fully, if you choose to stay close. So how do we truly live this lesson? How do we take the poetic wisdom of chapter 80 and turn it into an embodied way of being? Because inspiration without integration is just a momentary high. But when we root it into our body, breath, and being, it becomes a way of life. Let's begin with this. Fulfillment doesn't require expansion, it requires alignment. And alignment begins with awareness, noticing how often we chase things that don't actually feed us, noticing how frequently we look out there to fix what's been aching in here, noticing how addicted we are to movement, even when that movement pulls us off center. The Tao isn't telling you to avoid growth. It's inviting you to redefine what growth actually means. Growth is not the outward sprawl of your schedule or social reach. True growth is the inward deepening of your presence, your peace, your practice. To grow, sometimes you must shrink the noise. To grow, sometimes you must slow the pace. To grow, you must stay close to what actually nourishes your soul. So here are 3 grounded practices you can use this week to embody Chapter 80. Practice number 1, the circle of enough. Take out a journal and draw a circle. Inside that circle, write down everything that's already enough in your life: your breath, your morning tea, a smile from someone you love, the ability to move, walk, stretch, feel, be. This exercise doesn't deny your goals. It simply grounds you in what's real already here, because when you practice noticing what's enough, you stop overreaching for what's unnecessary, and that is the beginning of staying close. Practice number 2, sacred simplicity in routine. Pick one daily task, something ordinary like washing dishes, folding clothes, or walking to the mailbox. For 1 week, make that task sacred. Do it with your full attention. Let it become your meditation. Feel the water as you clean the plate. Notice your breath as you fold the shirt. Listen to the sounds around you on your walk. This isn't about perfection, it's about presence. And when your presence expands, your life, no matter how simple, becomes sacred. Practice. 3. Weekly reconnection ritual. Once a week, unplug from tech and create a small reconnection ritual. It could be a walk with someone you love, a shared meal with no phones, a solo session with your breath or journal, but commit to it, because consistency is the soil where peace grows. Don't wait until your life is falling apart to return to the center. Return regularly. Return rhythmically. Return with reverence. These practices may seem small, but Taoist wisdom tells us that what's small contains the seed of what's great. And as you keep them, they keep you. They keep you close. They keep you aligned. They keep you full, even in a world that constantly tells you you're not enough until you do more. Let's bring this home with another story. There was a woman named Anna who had lived in the same quiet coastal town for 30 years. She ran a small tea shop her grandmother had once owned. Tourists would pass through and ask, "Why don't you franchise this? Go online, go big." She would always smile and say, "Because if I do, I'll stop tasting the tea." They thought she was naive, but she wasn't. She was rooted, and she was free. Every morning, Anna would sweep the stone steps, boil water, open the shop slowly and deliberately. She knew every customer by name. She remembered their stories. She noticed when they looked tired. She noticed when they finally smiled again after grief. She didn't need the world to know her name because she knew who she was. And her small life was a grand offering of presence. What if we all lived a little more like Anna? What if our lives weren't designed to impress from afar, but to nourish from within? What if the point of all of this wasn't to escape, but to embody? The Tao isn't calling you to hide from the world. It's inviting you to stop hiding from yourself, to come back, to stay close, to live the life that's already waiting for you when you finally stop running. You don't need to cross oceans to feel fulfilled. You need to come home to your breath. You don't need more possessions. You need more presence. You don't need louder ambitions. You need quieter courage, the courage to say, this right here is enough. And when your soul is full, you stop needing to leave to feel alive. You're already there. You've already arrived. If you're interested in these ideas, check out a free copy of my book, The Yielding Warrior. Just pay for shipping. Click the link below and we'll send you out a copy today. And like the page, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and above all, let's stay close. That's where the power lives. That's where the Tao breathes. That's where you are.